Though silenced years ago, a square-mile field in Westchester is a very important reminder of why it existed in the first place, in a time when our own government is silencing the very journalism across its airwaves that once won over the hearts and minds of others.
This is the transmitter that broadcast the first Voice of America. This was WLWO.
Jack Dominic is the executive director of the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting. We're inside the original building of the Bethany Relay Station. The outdoor space once filled with towers and wires transmitting news and cultural information to other parts of the world.
We were able to send signals from here to Europe, North and South Africa, and South America.
What remains is a telling history of how news and cultural broadcasts,
One of the most popular programs was jazz. Who would have thunk?
would make their way through the station and behind the Iron Curtain, often at great risk to those who would listen.
The Cold War and the end of the Cold War and the fall of the Soviet Union can be directly related to things like the Voice of America.
Though countries like Germany and Russia built radios meant to only tune in to their country's specific messaging,
I knew a guy.
people searching for answers found ways to modify the radios to pick up the British Broadcasting Company or Voice of America.
Again, it gets back to what people will do to try to find out.
Seeking the truth.
While the Bethany Relay Station is now a museum, Voice of America broadcasts continued globally to this day, an important tool for democracy, shedding light on events and providing a counter-narrative to government-controlled media and authoritarian regimes.
220 million people a week listen to Voice, that's not past tense, this is present tense.
Right.
Listen to Voice of America.
Who actively relied on this signal up until this executive order.
That executive order, signed this month by President Donald Trump, targeted the U.S. Agency for Global Media, the parent company of VOA, leaving more than 900 full-time workers on indefinite leave and terminating nearly 600 contractors. A statement from the White House said the order would ensure taxpayers are no longer on the hook for radical propaganda, while the National Press Club said the order undermines America's long-standing commitment to a free and independent press. Jack has spoken to dozens of foreigners who grew up listening to the VOA broadcasts, some 50% of the visitors here. He said the broadcast credibility was built on one simple foundation: truth, not just in the good news, but in the bad as well.
No country would do that.
Because no country would ever air their
Exactly.
negative information.
A negative
right.
or not positive,
Not positive,
so
yeah.
to speak.
Yeah.
And they said, we figured if you're doing that, you must be telling the truth.
Right.
The museum, by the way, remains very active with open hours for the public and can arrange for private tours as well. As for the VOA, 6 VOA journalists are suing the Trump administration, citing in part the actions of the president violate their First Amendment right of speech.